Hi, it's Nikki, Doctor of Physical Therapy at Greencastle Physical Therapy. I'm here with my assistant Kelsey, and we are going to go over the infamous plank. So I love the plank exercise because if done correctly, it can be a good full body exercise that really isolates the core, but can really work shoulders, hips, thighs, really our entire body as a unit. So in order to get into this exercise, you can have something soft on the floor. If you have a mat of some kind, carpet is okay. You can get burned sometimes on carpet, so be careful with that. But we are gonna get face down. We're gonna start up on our elbows. The first one we're gonna show is a modified version of a plank. So if you're having a hard time getting all the way up into a plank, start with this one. So we'll come up onto our knees, trying to really lift the waist. So we want our core and our waist to be very active here. You don't wanna kind of have a drop down back where it's sagging down and we're just lifting those hips up in the air. Starting at the top, we want to make sure we're also lifting up in between the shoulder blades. So we don't want our shoulder blades winging off our back. Trying to lift up in between here, belly nice and lifted. And then when we get down into the hips, we're going to try and squeeze our butt muscles just to allow our hips and our glutes to go down just a little bit. Not to get a sag or an arch there, but just to make sure they're very active and locked in that pelvis. Still trying to get a little squeeze of the thighs. A big compensation I'll see people make is that they'll try and start with their legs really wide apart. What that does is it actually takes away from the ability of your core to do it. It makes it a little easier, but it doesn't make it quite as functional in the core. You can lower back down. So that one, you can hold anywhere from 10 seconds up to a minute and a half. You can go for just time and see how long you can do it. If you start with 10 seconds, maybe do 5 repetitions, and then do less repetitions as you increase the time. But that is a modified version of the plank. So next we're going to go all the way into a full plank, still on our forearms. So we'll have those forearms right underneath our shoulders. Make sure the elbows aren't too far back or too far forward. Again, we really want to lift up the mid-back. So we're doing a really good job here, keeping those shoulder blades pulled right onto our spine and our back, our rib cage. So we're going to allow that to lift through here. Lift through the belly and the waist. What we don't want to do, we don't want to lift the hips up like this. Now we're working our hip flexors, which is not as functional for our back. So we'll lift the belly, but we'll squeeze the butt to lower and press the hips down. That way we're allowing ourselves and our spine to be in a very neutral position here. So now we're working core, we're working shoulders, we're working our glutes. Then we want to lift through the front of the thighs. So as we squeeze the butt, lift through the thighs, we can get a little stretch in the hip flexors. And now we're really working the entire body, trying to imagine like you're stretching out from the top of your head through your heels. So this is that full body plank. You can go lower right now. That one again, we can hold for 10 seconds the first time you do it. Do about 5 times, and then work your way up to a minute or longer. You can always finish out, just seeing how long you can hold it for. Play music, do something fun to keep you nice and distracted. But that is kind of that full version of a plank on our forearms. The last version we can go over here actually asks us to use a little bit more of the shoulders. So we're going to come on our hands. You can do this one modified or full. We're going to go right to the full version. With this one, as we come up, we want to make sure our shoulders are not coming up towards our ears. In order to do that, we're going to rotate those biceps forward, not moving our hands, just allowing what we call an external rotation of the arms. That allows our shoulder joints to really get in a good position here. Then we'll pull those shoulder blades down, still lifting between the shoulder blades and the mid-back. Lift the belly. She's trying to cheat a little bit with those feet far apart, getting closer together. Lift the belly, squeeze the butt to get those hips, everything in a straight line, lifting the thighs. She has a little bit of tightness in her hips, so she's a little lifted naturally. Squeeze the butt and push forward a little bit. And we'll hold, go ahead and lower back down, keeping that external rotation of the shoulders just to really allow us to now work full body as we go here. So that one, it's not necessarily harder than the forearm plank, it just works things a little bit differently. So same concept, 10-second holds. You can do 5 as you start, work up to a minute or longer.